Okay, this is what I'm up to today. See how this grill shell comes down and it just ends and it kind of hovers over the frame? This is the part that I cut off the bottom of it right here. And it's really made in a cool kind of way. This was two pieces of metal that have been cut and pulled together and then riveted back together to form that little V shape, which I like, and I'm probably going to lose. But what I'm thinking of doing is cutting this thing down the same width as the piece that I took out of the original radiator and trying to fit it back in below there, so that rather than that radiator just looking the way it looks, which is what it is, looks like a radiator sitting on a couple pieces of metal sitting on top of the frame, if I can incorporate this down into the bottom part of it, even though I have to trim it around that frame rail there, I just think it'd look a lot nicer. And, you know, to be honest with you, I don't have that much else to do today. I think I'll work on that, so we'll see how it comes out. One of the things I love about this kind of hot rodding is that you know, sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your car. Check this out. This is half of that piece I was holding in my hand a while ago. Now, without this piece, you can see that it's just like this stops here. But if I can integrate this into here, and I trimmed it a little bit right here to miss my spring shackle bolts, you can see where it covers up the hole where these headlights used to come out. If I can make this corner fit by rebending that and kind of cupping that in there and sitting it like that, I just think it's going to be a lot better look. It's kind of a goofball body work, but you know what? Goofball body work is a little bit of what this is all about. Looks like I'm going to have to do a little cutting over here on this side to fit it in. But heck, I can do that because it's my car and I'm big and I can do what I want to. Okay, I'll point out a little point of interest here. What I'm doing looks pretty shabby on the one hand, but on the other hand, what you might not realize on this old grill shell, this grill shell has actually been remade before. This right here is the same metal as this down here. This is a piece of galvanized tin. Someone made the bottom of this out of this piece of galvanized tin. This is probably the old original grill shell right here, and then somebody made this whole little bottom piece out of that galvanized tin. So what I'm doing by shortening it and reshaping it and putting it back together is not really any worse than what's already been done to it. I mean, it's not like I'm, you know, disgracing a valuable antique or anything like that. And my thinking is that I'm liking the way this is looking. You know, the way it's coming together here. I just like it better on this side once I get it all tightened up, a lot better than like over here where it's all up in the air. So that's what I'm progressing to do, is I'm going to try to bend this up a little bit more and then pop a few rivets in it or something like that. And I think that'll just about look pretty honking. What I did here is I shot me a little tack screw into this corner to pull this corner down and get it into place. I'm probably going to replace that with a rivet, but it kind of gets it about where I need it to be. And keep in mind, I'm not shooting for perfection here, you know. It's a hot rod. So, but tack screws are wonderful things. If you're not familiar with them, you ought to go out and buy yourself a bunch of them and start messing around with them, because they're wicked fun. When we had the race car, we used to tack screw fenders on and off at random, at will. It was wicked fun. Anyway, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot better than I like this. So that's where we're going. Alright, this is on here pretty good. It's not, I'm not through with it. What I'm going to do is take that whole thing off. Take it off the radiator and put me some tack screws on there and stitch up that little bit of cloth a little bit more. You know, where it's off the radiator, so I don't have to worry about poking holes in it and stuff. But, man, I just like that look. If you get a little distance on it, I just like that look so much better. As imperfect as it is, it's better than it was. It's working for me. And that's what really matters. When I was a kid, I went to a rod run one time. I'd been up all night long, all week long, all weekend long, trying to put a 39 Ford pickup truck back together. And barely got it together good enough to go to a car show. There's a guy parked next to me, had a $10,000 26 Chrysler he had restored. $10,000 in those days was like 100 grand. There was just no way I could keep up. And it made me kind of put me off the whole hot rod thing. So for me to be building this car just like I want to on low bucks out of old parts, that's perfect. I mean, it couldn't get any perfect. It's the perfect place to be after kind of getting put off hot rodding by folks that just got too much money to spend. Anyway, there's all that. Have a nice day. Okay, I'm done for the day. I got to clean up out here, but the radiator's done. Now, this thing comes up underneath and goes back up on both sides. Looks pretty rough, but that's nothing unusual for this car. I'm pleased with it. That's what I spent today doing. I guess it's time to go in and warm up and have some supper. Y'all have a nice day.